Many of the children of the BlackGrange attended Ogden School, built in 1855. One of the school's most famous black students was Lincoln Alexander, first black MP and former Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. Egerton Ryerson was appointed Superintendent of Education in 1844. He was the architect of the free education system based on Christian principles and British values and accessible to all children. But since colonial Canada was modeled after Britain, a nation where white racial superiority was assumed, racial segregation was the norm in all of its institutions, including schools. Discrimination based on race was not legal, but it was practiced. Ryerson was one of the key designers of residential schools, a nationwide system that disrupted and traumatized Indigenous children, their families, and communities for generations. School trustees in the town of Amherstburg advised their constituents to take the responsibility of keeping the colored children from entering any of the schools. School board officials in Windsor, a city where 1/3 of the population was black, strategically created zones to ensure that black and white children went to separate schools. In Hamilton, pressure from black parents resulted in desegregating public schools. However, black children were told to sit in separate sections. Toronto was unusual because it was one of the few places in Upper Canada where education was not segregated. Some black communities responded to these discriminatory practices by creating their own schools that welcomed all children regardless of their color. In the mid-20th century, Canadian schools finally began to desegregate. The last segregated school closed in Nova Scotia in 1983. Schools like Ogden remind us of Toronto's strong community of black abolitionists and black parents who became activists in order to ensure the education of their children. Let's give thanks to black parents and honor their hard work. Ashe. Now we'll walk south along Spadina and turn left on Queen. We'll stop at Peter and Queen Streets.